Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing a how-to video. So today we just got in a Rockshox boxer coil and we're going to swap it out and put a little bit beefier one in my bike. So let's get to it. Well, we got our bike set up, super professional, bungee cords to keep it balanced and up. So it's a little dark. Let's put a light up or something so we can actually see what we're doing. That's bright. Woo! That should work. As with any project, step one is always gather all your tools so you're ready to do whatever you got to do for that project. So let's gather our most important tool first and we'll get everything else. So, most important tool is beer. So, got that covered. Our other tools needed for this project are 24mm socket, ratchet to use the socket, some sort of measuring device, torque wrench, some grease to go on the new spring, obviously our coil. For today's coil swap, based on the serial number and the results I got, we are working on a 2015 to 2018 Rockshox Boxer RC model. If you have a different model, some of these things may swap to it, but refer to a manual for the correct model that you have just to be sure. But that's what we're going by. Again, it's the 2015 to 2018 model of the Rockshox Boxer RC. With step one complete, we'll move on to step two. Step two, start with beer. Also, admire what you're going to be working on. Make sure you get a good healthy gaze. Step three, start on your project. But first, beer. We start with taking this top cap off. Now that the cap's loose, remove the cap and put it in a safe spot for later. That looks like a good safe spot. We'll come back to that after a while. Next, we'll remove this preload spacer. Put it in a safe spot for later. We'll put our spacer with our cap. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Now we'll remove the coil. It will be a little greasy, so you may want to have a rag or something. Coil removed. We can set it aside somewhere. We'll remove our new coil and identify which end is smaller. The smaller end needs to go in first. So I've already identified that this end is smaller, so I know I'm going to drop it in this orientation. We need to cover it with grease. Doing a little bit of research, automotive grease seems to be okay according to a couple different forums I found, so I'm using some automotive grease. This part will probably get a bit messy. Feel free to use gloves, rags, whatever suits your fancy. Me, I don't care. I'm always covered in grease or oil somewhere, so apply a generous amount of grease all the way up and down the coil. So now we'll insert the coil again, smaller side down. Now we'll take our measuring device, make sure the coil is far enough in, but not too deep, according to the spec. The proper way to measure this is from the top edge of the coil from in here to the top surface of the crown. So tape measure is very wore out, but we're a little below ½ inch. The spec is 16 millimeters. 16 millimeters converted to inches is approximately 5/8. We're at half, which is less than the 16. We're good to go. So now we go find our preload spacer and our top cap that we set aside earlier. Here they are. Let's go install them. First, we'll put our preload spacer back in. Next, we'll put our top cap back in. This part may be a little tricky to get started, as you may have to put some pressure to get your threads to start. Let's set you guys back aside. Now that we've got our top cap started, again, be sure to hydrate. You don't want to get dehydrated. we'll take our 24mm socket and ratchet, and we will tighten this down. We'll just do lightly hand tight first. Now that we're hand tight, we're going to actually torque it down to spec. The spec is 65 inch-pounds. Using a torque wrench is the proper way to do this. I don't have an inch-pounds reading on mine. Mine's only foot-pounds. To go from 65 inch-pounds to foot-pounds, we're going to divide 65 by 12. 60 divided by 12 is 5, so a little bit more than 5. We're going to say 6 foot-pounds. So I'm going to adjust mine to where it says 6 foot-pounds. This may be kind of hard for you guys to see, but I'm set on 6 foot-pounds. Now, in this particular type of torque wrench, as you tighten to the spec you've got it set on, it'll click, which indicates it's to the right tightness, the right torque setting. So we'll put this on here. You guys hear that or see that? That means we are to spec. Now that we have this complete, we'll kind of check. Everything seems to be functioning properly, so we should be set up. We're going to be heading to Coil again here soon. So that was the main reason for this upgrade to the medium, from the medium to the firm shock, or the firm coil. Now that we've got it complete, let's go get some beer. I know I already had some, I didn't count. That was part of the work. Let's go get the actual episode beer. Well, since this was our first how-to video, I thought we'd celebrate with something a little different. So this is an Anticipation IPA. This is actually from Wild Peacocks Homebrewing, AKA me. I've been dabbling in homebrewing a little bit here recently. This is actually my third batch. Things aren't quite coming out right, but I'm learning. I'm going to get better, and hopefully I'll be able to share some beer with you guys that I've made. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in for this first how-to video. Hope it was informational and informative. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video, and we'll catch you guys next time.